Hello, viewers, and welcome to Africa and Beyond the Television Network. And this morning, we are taking a look on what's happening in the nation Zimbabwe. Without fear, without favor, President Advocate Nelson Chamisa has urged the government of Zimbabwe, led by the ZANU-PF regime, to release all political prisoners. In a statement on X, he said, making Zimbabwe a free country, a just and democratic country cannot and must not have prisoners on account of politics. Citizens should not be persecuted for their political beliefs or opinions. Diversity is evidence of nationhood. Political tolerance is evidence of good governance. Justice is a human right. Today, as political prisoners appear in court, our thoughts and prayers are with Jameson Timba and the Avondale 48, Amos Chibaya, who are victims of political victimization, persecution, and toxic politics in Zimbabwe. May God save, heal, and bless Zimbabwe. This is something very, very important, and we are taking a look onto the incarceration of the change champions who are fighting for change on daily basis in the nation Zimbabwe. And these are leaders who have put their lives on the line to make sure that we are all free and we are all liberated. It's something very important at this point in time, and we need to make sure that we continue to fight for change. Musiama says, why call him president? Who is he? If he is not a president, who is he? Because according to the constitution, you're only made a president when you win an election. And Nelson Chamisa has never lost an election. If ZEC can prove that, they need to bring the evidence that he lost that election, and we will be waiting for that evidence. They have refused to actually publish the results of the 2023 elections because they know the fraud which they committed. So, you know, if Mnangagwa had won the election, you could have seen the economy responding positively, because winning an election, it means that the people do trust you, which means whatever policy you are going to put in place, the people will support that policy because they will be believing in you, they will be trusting in you. The reason why Emmerson Mnangagwa is failing is because he didn't win the election, he doesn't have the mandate, which means the people did not give him that mandate, and they don't have confidence in his leadership. It's as simple as that. So this is good to President Nelson Chamisa. You know, one day I want to tell you this. One day change will come to the nation of Zimbabwe. One day the people of Zimbabwe shall be happy. And those who are persecuting us today, they will, many of them, they will die in exile. Not because they will be chased, but because of what they have done. They will be chasing themselves away from the country. Beauty, thank you very much for coming. And she says, he is the president of the people. Yes, he is the president of all citizens in the nation of Zimbabwe, and we recognize him as such. So he's a man without authority, but he's a man of the people. He's a man with the mandate of the people. So we need to continue to fight in solidarity with our comrades who are incarcerated. We need to continue to speak together with the comrades who have been incarcerated for a very, very long time. If you look at these pictures, you could actually see that these are comrades who have fought for the liberation of Zimbabwe in different dimensions, in their own way. They've done anything possible to make sure that change comes to the nation of Zimbabwe. Let me tell you, we are not so far from a new Zimbabwe. At a certain point in time, we told those who were supporting Robert Mugabe that it's going to be deserted by the people who protect him. Some of them, they laughed on us. It's just that those days we were not live on YouTube and Facebook like what we are doing. But we started these conversations a long time ago. Having mass street debates, mass streets and everywhere. So you will see how Mugabe is going to be humiliated. And when Mugabe was humiliated, it was a confirmation of some of the things which we're talking about. And you know, what we have at this point in time, it shows the direction which our nation is taking. You cannot silence those who have been given the voice by God. Nelson Chamisa has a mandate. That mandate cannot be changed by juju, by sangomas. or by these charlatans, that mandate is going to be fulfilled by the one who gave him that mandate. It's a matter of time. I always say, if you read Mparids or Ecclesiastes, it says, Chimwene chimwe chine nguva yacho. Everything has its own time. There is time for sowing. There is time for harvesting. Each and everything, there is a season of everything. So when you talk about change coming to the nation of Zimbabwe, I know that there are a lot of people who laugh at us, who say, you have been talking about this for a very long time. But let me tell you this, we are not far from change. We are about to witness that much needed change in the nation of Zimbabwe. And you will witness it in our lifetime. Change is coming in our lifetime. There is nothing ZANU-PF is going to do to stop that change. Nelson says, we will never find a courageous person like Chamisa, who has refused to be corrupted and bribed by the system. All he needs is genuine change champions. Yes, this is something, a very, very powerful contribution, my brother Nelson, right there. And I agree with you 100%. Nelson Chamisa has been surrounded by greedy people, by greedy charlatans who are in politics for power and money. That is the biggest disadvantage which we have at this point in time. But he's building a team, which is a team of committed people who do not look back. Even if they are persecuted, they don't look back. They are looking forward to have change in the nation of Zimbabwe, despite the challenges, despite the hiccups which are coming through each and every day. And I believe that once a team is set up, once the rightful people to participate in this government are put in place, you are going to see great things. Let me tell you one thing. The government of Nelson Chamisa will not be a government which will succeed because of educated people or because of whatever. It's going to succeed because God will be with that government. Look at Mtuli, a professor, highly educated, but what policies is he bringing? Look at George Guamatanga, highly excelled in terms of education, highly educated, a doctor by title. But what are they delivering? Zimbabwe is now bankrupt. As we speak right now, they are bankrupt. They don't have even any cent. And, when you ask the questions, what have you done? Where is the money? So you can actually see that they are very, very learned, but they are doing nonsense, nothing at all. Emerson Mnangagwa himself boasts of being an educated leader, but what has he done? Nothing. So all these people, very educated, but they have delivered nothing so far. It's not an issue of education in the new government. It will be an issue of God putting in place people who are willing to travel an extra mile on behalf of the people. People who will say, even if we don't have money, we don't have salaries, we are going to deliver. Those are the kind of leaders which we need. Leaders who are not going to say we need very, very high allowances at the expense of the masses and at the expense of the people. And, that kind of leadership is coming, where people will be in government to serve, not to make money, not to service their own pockets. So very interesting moments. And I want to thank President Nelson Chamisa for actually standing in solidarity with the incarcerated comrades. And we continue to run the hashtag Free Amos Chibaya, Free Jameson Timba, Free all political prisoners in the nation of Zimbabwe. It doesn't matter who is a political victim. It doesn't matter whether we agree or we disagree. What we want is to see these people being liberated, these people being released from prison, being released by this regime. That is all we are asking for at this point in time. So I don't want to take much of your time. Let us see if there are any valuable comments from what President Nelson Chamisa has said. Max Oba says, President game session my pose. Okay. All right. Scans Panapa. Opposition should push for reforms at both police and legal level in the country's justice system. Only making noise when people get arrested does not help. Let's address the root cause. Let me respond to this because it's something which is very important. No reforms are going to come in the presence of Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF will never bring reforms because they will simply block those reforms in parliament. No matter how you try to push for them, they will block those reforms in parliament, which means what you need is a different strategy, a strategy which President Nelson Chamisa has started implementing everywhere. He is actually on the ground, working with people on the ground. Guys, I know what I'm talking about because I've seen what is happening. I've witnessed what is happening. And I'm satisfied and I'm happy with what is happening because that idea, it actually goes in hand in hand with what we have witnessed in the past election, the problems, the challenges which we faced. Those are the issues which President Nelson Chamisa is actually addressing on the ground. Most importantly, to make sure that he reduces ZANU-PF influence in all areas which they call their own strongholds. That is something which is very important and something which is so of importance at this point in time. So we'll continue to watch, we'll continue to speak about change in the nation of Zimbabwe. And I just want to thank everybody who joined us live here on Africa and Beyond Television Network. Please make sure that you continue to like our videos. Make sure that you continue to comment and make sure that you share our videos to as many people as possible. We need the gospel of change to reach all corners. And thank you very much for coming this morning. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other broadcasts.